Streaming only on Peacock.
John Wayne Gacy killed 32.
Straight from the killer's mouth.
They want you to believe that I alone committed these murders.
The new gripping 6-part documentary series, John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise. All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock.
Did you see that Kim Kardashian, she bought the iconic outfit that Janet Jackson wore in the If video?
You know what? I did see something about that just because it kind of struck me as odd. I was like, well, wait a minute. Is this one of those situations where somebody like seized a storage room and Janet Jackson's manager or something didn't know and they didn't pay the bill? Or is like Janet Jackson trying to raise money for a charity or something? Like, how did that item come up?
Yeah, it was a Julian's auction that they had a 3-day auction event to honor Janet Jackson's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Portion of the proceeds go to charity, of course.
When I saw the headline, I immediately remembered the outfit. Wow.
Of course, because it's iconic. There's a reason why they say the iconic outfit from If. Like, it's the black, it looks like bones on it. It shows her belly.
Right.
Yeah, she paid $25,000 for it. And I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought it would sell for more. But okay, like it's still a ton of cash.
Well, I know the Kardashians love Halloween. Maybe it's a costume for something or something like that.
She says she's just a really big fan. And, this is something she always wanted. I wonder, do you put it on, though? So remember when I went to the Marilyn Monroe auction when I was in high school?
I do remember that story.
Yeah, my dad took me and like all I wanted was a dress. I wanted a Marilyn Monroe dress that I could wear around my house every day for the rest of my life. And then when I saw how much they were going for, I go, okay, I'll take a pair of shoes. And then when I saw how much the shoes were going for, I was like, I'll literally take anything.
Right.
And I walked out with nothing because everything was so much money.
How about a brooch or a matchbook or something? Right.
What was the most that you ever paid for that belonged to a celebrity?
Well, you know something? I mean, I'm not a big fan of buying memorabilia. I haven't paid for anything myself. I do have a Terrell Owens autographed framed picture that a friend gave me. And I remember thinking as soon as he gave it to me, I'd seen it in stores for like $200. And I was thinking, dude, this was a waste. Like I didn't need it. It has a number on it or whatever. By contrast, though, there was that secret Ja Rule Run DMC show that I got into. And you'll remember one of my favorite stories is when my friend caught Ja Rule's shirt. And the first thing he did was smell it. And then he kept it. And whenever he wears that shirt, a shirt that is the same color I remember it being, then I'm always like, what's up with Ja Rule?
Every Ja Rule shirt.
And there's a part of me, I mean, I laughed about it so hard then, but every time he wears it, I think to myself, I'd like to wear Ja Rule's shirt for today.
Yeah.
Like for a minute.
Yeah.
Like for a minute, I'm like, oh, give me Ja's shirt. I'll wear that.
I have. So this is actually a sad story, but it's the only piece of celebrity memorabilia that I have is that when Tori Spelling was going through all the financial hardships,
right,
she sold her clothes on eBay because she needed the money.
Right.
Right.
Don't you have her jean jacket or something?
No, I have a Diane von Furstenberg jacket that she sold. And now here's the crazy part. I bought that jacket not so much because it belonged to Tori Spelling from 90210, but because like it was a really beautiful jacket, and that jacket in stores would be like $500-600. It was $25.
Wow!
So whenever I would wear it, I'd be like, "Oh, it's Tori Spelling's jacket," and then I felt guilty because I'm like, her misfortune is my gain because I got this cool jacket for $25.
Well, I mean, sad ending to a sad story.
No.
I'm pretty sure there's another one of those sales going on.
There's another sadder ending to that story. It was a size 4 and now it doesn't fit me anymore. That's the sad ending. Help me feel better. 1-800-330-9999. What's the most amount of money you've ever had to pay in taxes? You can call or text. Raven, tax season for me is always like a terrible time of year because not only do we always somehow have to pay.
Always.
I
mean, every year since the time that I've known you, you've had to pay every single year.
And there's a lot of reasons for that because like I work at I teach boot camps.
I don't care about
Zumba.
your explanations. You have to pay.
I always have to pay. And my husband constantly reminds me that it's my fault that we always have to pay.
Oh, okay.
But also it becomes a stressful time because in addition to having to cut the checks to wherever they have to go and all that, it's always the time to scrutinize every penny I've spent over the last year because he's going through every single receipt and every debit card purchase and every credit card purchase.
All the evidence is there laid to bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no hiding from it at this point.
No.
I have a very different experience with my taxes. You know, I love tax season. I've had to pay a couple times. I think the most I ever had to pay was something like $5,000 or $6,000. I had a really tough year one time with the taxes. But other than that, you know that I'm ultra creative when it comes to my taxes. This year, I don't even know what I'm getting back. But my CPA talked with my wife and told him that we're getting something back. We're getting a refund, but he's now cleaning his pool and other things after tax season closed because we were late to the game. So he filed an extension for us this time.
I think it's weird that your accountant filed an extension because he's busy cleaning the pool.
He's got to clean his pool. He needed a day off, something about his dog, and he wanted to clean his house and something. Right. I'm sure he didn't sleep over the last 2-3 weeks because, as we know, everybody waited till the last minute this year. We got an extension.
Yes.
The whole nation got an extension, so everybody was like, oh, I'll do it in the last 10 days.
See, I always feel that when they did the extension, I go, if you're getting a refund, no, you remembered to file it back, like when you were supposed to do it.
You would think, but I just didn't. I didn't have the energy this year. But I've had some friends. I had a friend last year. He paid $23,000.
That is crazy.
$23,000. So he owns a trucking company, and he had a pretty good year, but really just the first year where he was totally out on his own. So $23,000. So this year he invented his own garage, like with its own stationery and its own work orders and all that stuff. So anytime that his truck gets anything done or whatever, he writes it off to a garage that doesn't actually exist.
That seems incredibly
it's
illegal.
A true story, and I'm not going to say his name. He also told me that he has a receipt sharing policy now with one of his other friends.
Also illegal?
Yes. So they share receipts on anything that they've paid cash on. They're like, nobody knows.
What?
And I was like,
somebody will find out.
I mean, he might, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, they've got a ghost garage somewhere with invoices and everything.
See, this is what makes me so scared about taxes. It's like, you got to roll those dice. And even like how you said before, I like to get creative. You know what creative means?
Right.
Illegal. That's what it means.
Listen. If you're going 50% on your cable bill, is that really the worst thing ever? You didn't invent a garage. You don't have an account on an offshore island.
Yep. And every year it's the same conversation with my husband. He'll start at a high amount.
That's right.
And he'll say, I got to go through it a few more times. And then magically it comes down.
It gets lower.
And I'm like, but where did you find this stuff?
Oh, it's out there. You can grab it.
All right. 1-800-330-9999. How much did you have to pay in taxes? Did you make up a fake garage that does work? That's ridiculous.
It's kind of brilliant, though.
Okay. For some people, tax season is great because you're going to get your refund. You're going to put it towards a vacation, maybe do some home projects around the house.
You just like the game of it, to see what you've got. Maybe we're going to go out shopping.
Or you're like me, where every year you got to pay. Somehow, you don't know how. And I don't understand. Like, my husband is constantly yelling about W-4s, and I think it's like a made-up thing that he's talking about.
No, these are real things. W-4s, W-2s, right? I mean, they all exist. You should figure out how they work.
Yep, I guess.
Might get a better result next time.
Maybe.
I usually do well, but I've had bad years. Last year, a friend of mine paid $23,000, so he invented a fake garage.
That seems very illegal. Very, very illegal.
Well,
make me feel better. How much did you have to pay in taxes? 1-800-330-9999. Hey, it's Anna and Raven.
1 year, we won a pretty big sum of money and then got hit with a $20,000 tax bill.
Oof.
Would you like the lottery or like?
Casino. Yeah, it was quite a emotional roller coaster, shall we say. Winning and then the drop of owing the taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
How much did you win that you had to pay $20,000 in taxes?
Kind of would rather not say, if that's okay.
That's fine, but what was it on? Was it on a table game? Was it on slots? Just like, I want to know, how'd you win?
Video poker, but I'm not going to say which machine I was on.
Okay.
Those video poker people, they always say that you can make money. It's the most consistent bet, actually, if you're playing to pay your bills. But I never win on that stuff.
I never win because they're always at the bar. And then I just start drinking, and then I stop paying attention. I feel like they do that on purpose. They're like, you know what? Put the video poker ones at the bar so that nobody will win. But the excitement of winning, man, that's awesome. That's like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of feeling.
If you could just stay in that moment for the rest of the time, then you would have been fine. Right?
Totally.
Hi, it's Anna and Raven. What's the most you ever paid in taxes?
My first year out of college, I sold real estate, and it was at the height of that boom, and I had no idea what I was doing and didn't take attention to like quarterly taxes and didn't know they weren't taking taxes out of my checks.
Uh-oh.
And my first tax bill was $28,930. So yeah, I learned my lesson very, 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 very quickly.
Oh, that it sneaks up on you for real estate because they don't take those taxes and you think it's just like money in the bank. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, you want it all now? That doesn't make sense.
I mean, if you paid $28,000 in taxes, you made quite a bit. You were rolling in the money.
She said it was the boom.
I mean, you had to know sooner or later somebody was going to come for a piece of that. Come on.
Yeah, I learned.
He just thought I was going to be rich the rest of my life. Look at me. Another closing. I'm rich. Hannah and Raven, how much is the most you ever paid for your taxes?
My wife is a small business owner, and a lot of her business is cash. So when we started calculating everything, it looked like it was going to be like $6,000. But I got aggressive, and I started looking at deductions, and I got it down to $3,600.
That's what you got to do, buddy. You got to get aggressive.
When
Here's
people,
the thing.
No, stop it. When people say they're getting aggressive, Raven,
Yes.
that means that's when you start making stuff up on your taxes.
No, I would have got more aggressive.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, I'll turn that $3,600, I'll turn that frown right upside down. All right? They might have got $300 back on that report right there. You got to get aggressive.
Aggressive.
Was
Cheating.
your CPA telling you? Did he just keep repeating, I told you quarterly. You got to do it quarterly because that's what my guy always says.
I mean, you'd be surprised what you can find in between the lines, man.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
In between the lines and aggressive are things you should not say when you're talking about your taxes.
Well, good thing you're not an IRS auditor. All right.
That's all I need to know about you.
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 All you have to do is fill in the blank. If you blank, that's all I need to know about you. You can call or text 1-800-330-9999.
If you believe that there is a single electronic problem, complex or simple, that cannot be actually resolved by restarting on your own and waiting 30 seconds, that's all I need to know about you. I spent over an hour with my cable provider on the phone the other day as person after person after person. They transferred me at least 5 times to different departments trying to figure out why my new modem wouldn't work. By the way, incidentally, the new modem that I purchased, the modem that they sent me an email going, we just increased your speed. You should get one of these type of modems. I chose portion number 1, choice number 1, didn't work for hours and hours and hours. Restarted it again myself later on, went to bed angry, woke up the next morning, it worked just fine. And somehow my bill increased by $20.
You should know better, Raven. I mean, you should know.
I had already done the restarting thing before that, but then that was not working at that point. And then after being on the phone for like an hour and them saying on top of it, we'll call you back in 15 minutes, and then ignoring me, just acting like I was dead to them. By the morning time, it worked. My bill was somehow $20 more, but that's what happened.
Even in here with all our high-tech, quote-unquote, equipment, every time an engineer will walk in and he'll look at me and he'll go, did you restart it and wait 20 seconds? And I'm like, now I get frustrated. I'm like, of course I did. And then in my mind, I'm like, oh, no, I didn't.
Did I this time? Did I this time? Right. Because we're calling them at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Hi, it's Hannah and Raven. That's all I need to know about you.
If you fall asleep at a comedy show or live performance after all this time and not being able to see anything, that's all I need to know about you. My husband and I finally went out to see a live comedy, and in the middle of the second set, I look over, and he is out cold. Thank God the comic didn't see.
I mean, but was it after 10 o'clock? Because if it was after 10 o'clock, ouch, it's hard.
We haven't been out in forever.
Yeah.
We have to enjoy this. It's painful. It's embarrassing.
Oh, it's hard. I just bought tickets for a comedy show, actually, that the show starts at 10 o'clock.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
It starts at 10?
Yeah.
You're never going to make it.
I was like, wait a minute. We're going to have dinner and wine before this, and then we're going to go sit there in the dark and have to listen and laugh. I'm like, I don't know, guys.
You better take a nap. You better take a 3-hour nap that starts at like 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't eat, and I would make sure that it's really cold in there if I was you.
Oh, how about this one, Raven? Goodwill would like to thank people for all the donations in the past year, but if you donate literal garbage to Goodwill, that's all I need to know about you. They are putting out a PSA asking people to stop donating garbage, and these are the things that they're donating.
What?
So we're talking about the literal trash we sometimes see slip through in the donation stream. A lampshade, which is stained and disgusting and literally falling apart.
A small table missing a leg, cracked Tupperware, a used sponge.
Dental medical tool.
What?
Dental tools. People are donating used dental tools. I mean, that is all I need to know about you. Just put it in your garbage. garbage.
Yeah.
What are you bringing it there for?
Find that sad stool another leg. Jeez.
What's your routine when you leave your house if you have animals? If you have pets, like what's that thing that you do? Today's National Pet Rescue Day, and Raven and I are both rescue parents. We are all about adopting and rescuing your pets.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I handle things when I leave the house and the way Raven does, two very different things.
Here is some of the stuff that my wife and I do when we're leaving the house with our animals here. Here's my wife telling you about it.
If it's during the day, we have to make sure that the shades are closed so the sun's not shining on the crate so they don't melt. We have to move the stools because they block the camera. So we have to move the stools, turn the camera so it's facing the crate so we can see them the whole time we're gone.
Motion detectors are set.
We have to make sure that they each have their little guy with them in their crate, but it can't be a guy that they actually chew on because they'll get the squeaker out. Blankies, make sure the TV's on antenna so the cable doesn't shut off. 12 volume to make sure that certain lights are on so they have enough light so they don't feel like they're in the dark. We also have to check the weather and make sure there's no thunderstorms coming.
Or else we can't leave.
Right. Wow. That's a lot of stuff.
Yes, that's a lot of stuff.
She forgot
Raven.
to take them out before, we go. They got to go to the bathroom before we go, obviously. Make sure they get a drink before we go and usually give them a snack. She said that originally, but then the dogs went crazy when she said it in the recording, so I cut that out because then they hear the word snack and they go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I believe that my dogs are beginning to be able to spell because if you say S-N-A-C-K, they know. If you spell walk, like they know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now they know. It's a lot.
You make me feel guilty about poor Lila Bear.
Yeah.
So my rescue, she's gonna be 4. But when we leave the house, this is the conversation I have as I'm frantically putting the shoes on my kids and yelling at my husband because inevitably he's not ready to go wherever it is.
Sure.
Did somebody take Lila out?
Right.
Did somebody take her out? No. Does anybody take care of Lila except for me?
Right.
Right. And then it's me frantically running her around the block as fast as I quickly can so she can go potty and then locking the door, getting in the car and being 10 minutes late to wherever we're going.
I mean, no wonder the dog's a little bit stressed, right? I mean, she feels like she's been late her entire life. Yeah.
It's funny because when it comes to your pets, there's certain routines that you have when you leave the house. Ours is very simple. Raven's incredibly elaborate.
Right.
My favorite part of this whole story is that we haven't even touched upon the fact that you bought a stroller for your dog.
Yeah. Somebody yesterday in my neighborhood, too, clicked a photo of me while I was out walking the dog in said stroller from the worst, literally the worst angle it could be. So not only do I look terrible, but the dog's got a cone on his head inside the stroller as I'm pushing him down the street there, and that's in my neighborhood app. Thanks a lot, Nanette.
It's National Dog Rescue Day. Raven and I are huge proponents of adopting your pets, and we both have rescues. So it's funny, though, because I have this thing where when I leave my house for Lila Bear, my dog, it's just like we make sure she goes out, we lock the door, we say, we'll see you later, baby girl, and we move on with our lives. Raven, can you do a quick list of all the things you do when you leave?
We have to move 3 pieces of furniture so that it doesn't obstruct the camera view of them. They both go out potty, of course. They've got to get their toys, but it can't be toys that they can rip apart and eat the squeezy that's inside there. They get their blankies inside that. We've got to close the shades so that the sun doesn't fall on them, depending on the certain day. And we've got to check the weather to make sure there's no thunder or lightning. There's other things that I'm missing, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Incidentally, I bought my dog a stroller because he's injured and recovering from surgery, not because I just wanted to roll him around like a baby or a doll.
Why did you put a bonnet on him?
It's a cone.
Oh, okay. What is your routine when you leave your house when it comes to your pets? What do you do for them? 1-800-330-9999. Hi, it's Anna and Raven.
I have a cat. Her name is Nala. And I feed her every morning, and I make sure I put on Animal Planet for her because, yes, she enjoys watching it.
Yeah, so does she have, like, favorite shows? Does she watch when you're home, too? Because what I've noticed is my dogs love Planet Earth. They love when the birds of prey are on. When you've got the dancing birds.
Yeah.
Oh, they love that.
Yeah.
And my little one really loves hyenas.
It's weird.
Yeah, she just likes watching any animals on TV, so Animal Planet it is. We leave on for her.
There's actually a dog channel that they came up with that, like, Xfinity invented, I think, this past year. I watched it for a while, me and the guys. Then it seemed like it was on repeats.
By you and the guys, you mean you and your puppies?
Of course.
Yep.
And Raven, what's your pet routine before you leave the house? What do you do for your pets?
We have to make sure we take off all the collars, including his Zap collar. And then we make sure we give him a Kong with some frozen treats in it, so it gives him some time to eat all of his food before he gets all stir crazy in the crate.
Yeah, that's sweet, right? Like a snack before you go, and the restraints come off. That's good. But do you take off? You take off the collar basically because you're afraid of them choking?
Yeah. All for protection.
Yeah. No, we're totally paranoid too. Right. You're a good pet parent. Good job.
I never even thought about that. I like that they freeze the treats to make it last longer. It's smart.
Oh, we'll try that for you tomorrow.
Yeah. Can you do that with my Activia yogurt in the fridge?
Too.
Hi, it's Anna and Raven. What do you do, your routine for when you leave the house with your pets?
So I started this new routine about 6 months ago, which I probably shouldn't have started because I take the little Kongs and I put peanut butter in them and I freeze them. So now my little dog, all she wants to do is have me leave.
Right.
She gets fed. I take her out. I take her for a walk. And then I'm trying to get ready for my morning. But she just wants me to leave so she can get the freezer treat.
Right. If you leave her favorite TV show on, it's about all she needs. Right.
She's like, wait a minute. When I leave, I'm going to get more of those really cool frozen treats. Mama, go. Get out of here.
Right. Don't you have somewhere to be?
Pretty much. She whimpers till I leave. But if I come down and now I've learned that if I wear my pajama bottoms, she doesn't think I'm leaving the house, so she's okay with it. So I literally change like 3 minutes before I leave.
I'm about to say, what do you change in the car?
The whole morning.
Right. In the kitchen. Right.
It's National Dog Rescue Day. Raven and I, huge advocates for rescuing and adopting your pets.
Sure.
But it's very different how when I leave the house and I leave my Lila Bear behind versus what Raven does, his routine when he leaves the house.
Here's my wife, Alicia, giving you a little snapshot.
If it's during the day, we have to make sure that the shades are closed so the sun's not shining on the crate so they don't melt. We have to move the stools because they block the camera. Turn the camera so it's facing the crate.
Motion detectors are set.
We have to make sure that they each have their little guy with them in their crate, but it can't be a guy that they actually chew on because they'll get the squeaker out. Make sure the TV's on antenna so the cable doesn't shut off. 12 volume. To make sure that certain lights are on so they have enough light so they don't feel like they're in the dark. We also have to check the weather and make sure there's no thunderstorms coming. Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
You guys are absolutely nuts, but maybe not. What's your routine when you leave the house when it comes to your pets? 1-800-330-9999. Hey, Anna and Raven.
So my dog likes to get into whatever he can while I'm gone, so I have to make sure I dog-proof the house, but I'll try to leave Mozart or something on the TV while I'm gone on YouTube.
To get smarter. That's why.
Well, sometimes you think it relaxes them. What does he get into? Is he like a trash fiend, or is he more like a food, or what?
Food. I don't know how, but he is somehow able to get into high places.
Yes.
I've yet to catch how he does that, but I have to make sure everything's put away in a cabinet.
I have a friend with a 60-pound dog. She could not figure out for the life of her how the dog was getting on the kitchen counter. Getting on the kitchen counter, they would stack like extra stuff that they had next to a kitchen cart, paper towel bundle or whatever. Like, you know how you get the big one at the box store or whatever?
Yeah.
The dog would jump up on top of that, go over the kitchen cart to the counters.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how did the dog not get hurt?
What I do to block off certain rooms, Dakota, it's my 2-year-old, I use her power wheels.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have one power wheels that blocks the stairs.
Right.
I have another one like the car that has the feet on the bottom where you can push the car on. Right. That blocks the entrance to the living room.
So there's an Escalade in one corner.
Yeah.
There's
Little Tykes, that red and yellow car.
And then the dog really wants to get by, they'll do it anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anna and Raven, what do you do for your pets when you go out?
My pets are treated better than I treat my husband, I'll admit. Like it's a half a second saying goodbye to him. It's 20 minutes saying goodbye to them. I make sure, of course, that their water bowls are full. And we just do this very long, Mommy's coming back. Don't worry. What do you need? They get a little extra treat.
Right. I'm coming back. Right. I'm coming back. Don't worry. Mommy will be back. Right.
Mommy always comes back. Mommy always comes back.
That's what I say to Dakota, my 2-year-old. I don't say that to the dog.
Right. Meanwhile, your husband, though, you just walk out. You're like, yeah, I'll see you.
Maybe I'll come back.
Right. Yeah, watch yourself. Maybe I'll be back. Maybe I won't be. Hey, it's Anna and Raven. When you leave your house, do you set your pets up with anything? What do you do for your pets?
Yeah, well, I turn on the TV on a low, sort of like usually nature shows.
What do you have?
Noise. A little Shih Tzu poodle and a cat. I don't even know what the cat is, really. Walter.
That's what he
Walter
is.
the cat.
Actually, for Walter, I leave the window open so he can stare out at the birds. because he goes insane when he sees birds.
Right.
So that usually keeps him entertained. That's his entertainment.
Well, sure, if you opened up an artery and danced in front of a shark, they'd be interested too. Your cat's a hunter.
Adam Sandler has been in the news lately because of the viral video of him leaving an IHOP because the hostess told him that it was a 30-minute wait, which is the most normal thing that could possibly happen.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't throw a fit or anything like that and go, do you know who I am?
No, he was like, all right, that's okay. We have to go. We can't wait 30 minutes and left. No big deal. But all of a sudden, everyone now has an Adam Sandler story.
Sure.
And there's a story trending this morning about a guy named David Seth Cohen, who's going viral because he says his biggest regret in life was not accepting to hang out with Adam Sandler because he thinks it ruined the trajectory of his career.
I mean, anything is possible. Was it a business meeting or what?
Here he is explaining.
Adam had an apartment that they were leasing for him during Big Daddy, and I worked for the costume designer. I was a production assistant. She said, first, can you take these clothes and drop them off? I went up to Sandler's apartment. I'm like, it's Dave. I'm just a PA. I'm here to deliver the clothes for the premiere tonight. So he opens the door finally, and he's got this huge smile on his face, and he's like, hey, man, you want to come in for a drink? And I froze, and I said, I can't. And I got other things to do. I took it all in for a second, and I was like, listen, guys, I got to get going. And I left.
And he says that because he didn't go in there for the drink, that he didn't become part of Adam's inner circle.
Well, that's the thing is Adam Sandler does have an inner circle.
Yep.
And guys that he works with or crew that he's worked with before, guys and girls throughout the years, and he's kept those people close for a very long time.
100%.
Wow. I mean, it actually really could have changed his career.
Yeah.
It could have changed his life in that regard.
I don't want to call it a similar experience.
Sure.
But it's a regret. So when I was very, very early in my career, I have a crush on Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
It's the strangest thing.
I've had a crush on him since I was 14 years old.
I actually have a problem with it, but
that's right.
But
it's a story for another time.
It makes no sense to me, right? But okay.
But the jock that was supposed to interview him, and it was a huge concert that was going on.
Sure.
And backed out. They weren't coming. So they went to us, and we were all the newbies and like interns working. And they're like, somebody's got to get back there and interview Billy Joe Armstrong.
The show must go on.
And they looked at me. They're like, Anna. And I was so afraid that I was going to like burst into tears or not be able to do it. Like I was like, I can't. And of course, the guy working right next to me is like, I got it.
Right.
He got up, he went and he did it. And I promised myself
and now
that
he's
day.
famous.
Well, actually, I have no idea where he is. So I guess it didn't change the trajectory of his career. But I said to myself, never, if I ever get this opportunity again, I will never do that. And you want to know what? I never once again had the chance to meet Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah. You have to step up when the opportunity is there. I'll never forget, where I used to be, another station where I used to be at, we used to do very long form interviews. And one of the coolest things that we would do is when comedians would come through, I would just talk to these people forever, right? For like an hour or whatever. And it developed really cool relationships. Go out with them, hang out with them when they were in town or whatever. And I'll never forget that Sean and Marlon Wayans were in town with their tour. And, another one, a big comedic family ride, close circle, all that stuff. And we were doing the interview thing. It was the second, third time. And they told me, they were like, what are you doing? They were like, you should come out on the road with us. They were like, we need an opener type guy of your type, basically on the tour. And, they might have been saying it to make me feel good, but I always wonder, like, what would have happened
didn't you say yes?
if I just took that chance with those guys,
Yes.
because, they were very much involved with what was going on. It felt like a real conversation.
Right. And they were asking you to come on the road with them, and you said no and laughed it off. What would have happened?
They were like, we need that heel white guy. Frankly, that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know what? They were like, you can handle yourself with this. It would be perfect.
Long story short, here's what it comes down to. If somebody knocks on your door, answer the door.
That's for sure.
So President Biden gave the graduation speech at the U.S. Coast Guard's Academy ceremony yesterday, and he was pretty annoyed that the graduates weren't into his jokes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, check it out.
I can only assume that you will enjoy educating your family about how the Coast Guard is, quote, the hard nucleus around the Navy forms in times of war.
That was a joke?
It was a little.
Yeah.
I would think that that's something that you 100% have to be in the Coast Guard or the Navy to understand.
Or clearly, if you're in any of them, you still don't find it funny. I had to listen to it 10 times, and I still didn't understand why it was funny.
Right.
But then he got mad that they didn't laugh.
Oh, good.
It's like when you're at a show, a comedy show, and you don't laugh at the comedian.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, exactly. You guys all right? This is what he says.
You're a really dull class. I mean, come on, man. Is the sun getting to you? I would think you'd have an opportunity when I say that about the Navy to clap.
And now you have to.
He's like, I think, really, read between the lines. I think when I tell a joke, you would have an opportunity to kiss my behind, is what you would do right now.
Do you realize that I am
Sign me
the
up.
president of the United States of America, and I just told a joke, and then everyone's like...
Right, now you're great. Now, you're right, boss. You are number one. You're the best.
That's funny.
Right.
And then he went on to boast about when he was in college, he also used a fire extinguisher, and he assaulted his dorm's RA.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he went on.
It
was
still
like a
worked
stand-up
out
set.
for me,
Yeah.
right? Now I'm president
He's like,
here,
look
right?
at me.
Well, you
I
know
did
you're
it.
going to tell a couple cheesy jokes during a commencement speech. That's going to happen, Anna. But you have to impart wisdom and give them something to get excited about, too.
Oh, it's exciting. So Raven and I have never been asked to give a graduation speech, most likely because nobody cares what we think or has any respect for what we
We're not
do.
an example. By all means, stay in school.
Right. But Raven, maybe you can start off by giving your commencement speech.
I would love to. Thank you very much here, Anna. Congratulations, class of 2021. You did it. You survived the worst high school experience in 100 years, and you did it with flying colors. Colors which were proudly displayed on your face masks and painted windows of every vehicle that took part in your classmates' lame birthday parade. You thrived, seniors, while your year went remote. Crushed your virtual homecoming. Never again. Welcome to adulthood, and as the world opens back up, so does an endless list of possibilities. Go forth with enthusiasm, pair direction, and determination with your dreams.
Oh.
Dance with reckless abandon. Scream your heart out at a concert if you want. Kiss a stranger, Anna Zapp. Maybe check their Vax card if you want first. But kiss a stranger anyways. Make mistakes and recover again. That's the point. The important thing is never give up, because your life will be what you make it, not what anyone else has decided for you.
Yeah!
Yeah! Keg party!
Yeah!
Wait a minute. Can't say that. College party. Sorry.
Right. Isn't it funny how most graduation speeches always have some kind of reference to, like, I hope you dance? Like, do you know?
Yeah, dancing's a big thing.
It's always a thing. Like when
you never dance as good or as unafraid as you do as a senior as well. So, like, I mean, seriously, like maybe a freshman or sophomore in college, but after that, you're always going to think somebody's watching you.
I hope you dance in the rain. You just dance and dance. It's like, what am I doing all this dancing? Like, I have to go to work now.
You're stalling now, all right? Your commencement speech, Anna's commencement speech is coming up next.
It's going to be so inspirational. It's next. President Biden gave the graduation speech at the U.S. Coast Guard's Academy ceremony. And he was pretty annoyed because the graduates weren't into his jokes. If you missed it a few minutes ago, this is what it sounded like.
I can only assume that you will enjoy educating your family about how the Coast Guard is, quote, the hard nucleus around the Navy forms in times of war.
Nothing.
Right.
It's like one guy.
Yeah.
I think that might have been his speechwriter.
Right. Then he got mad and he said this.
You're a really dull class. I mean, come on, man. Is the sun getting to you? I would think you'd have an opportunity when I say that about the Navy to clap.
You're like, right.
All right.
You have the
fine.
opportunity whenever I say anything to clap a lot enthusiastically and act like I'm the best.
And Raven and I got sad because nobody ever asked us to give the graduation speech at anything.
Yeah, not likely to happen.
Yeah. So if you missed it a few minutes ago, Raven gave his graduation speech to the high school graduating seniors.
I feel like it was very motivational, gives them a lot to look forward to, pump them up a little bit. A couple terrible jokes in there, too, but not quite as bad as the president or anything.
No, they were just as bad. But if you missed it, you could always check up on our podcast page at AnnaandRaven.com. But now it's time for me to give my speech, but this is for graduating college seniors, okay?
Okay, all right.
To the graduating class of 2021, you did it! You graduated in this year. Well, it's the past year and a half, let's be honest, has been crazy. But here's the good news. There probably won't be another pandemic for another 100 years, and then you'll be dead. So you won't have to even worry about it. Thank you. Thank you. And what do you have to worry about right now? Finding a job. Some of you have worked hard during your college years, and this is actually a great time to find a job because everybody just got laid off, and now these companies are looking to replace those jobs with people that will work for literally next to nothing. Yeah, I know. This is great news for you because you're 22 and you probably still live at home with your parents, but it's not so great for your parents that actually have to pay the mortgage. Hashtag truth hurts. Is that trending on TikTok? I'm not really sure. Okay. But then there's the others. You know who you are? Well, your dorm mate was up all night working on their thesis papers. You were the one at the bar at 2 a.m. starting the chant, "No last call, no last call." And for you, you'll have a mediocre career, probably hosting a radio show. But I'd like to leave you with these quotes that I just made up. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. You must be the change you wish to see in the world.
Oh, my gosh.
Eat, pray, love. And I hope you dance. Just do it. Now, if everybody will please join me. No last call. No last call.
It's not your best work ever.
I just want to say that I'm available for any high school graduations and college graduations. If you need somebody to give a speech, I'm like 100%. You just call me. Literally, I'm so available.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, your schedule's open.
Yep.
Couples Court on the Anna and Raven Show.
Every day a couple joins us. They let us know what their disagreement is about, and then you just decide who's right. Zach and Naomi. Naomi, what's going on?
My parents told me that they're leaving the house to and like a lot of money to me in their will. My parents are pretty old at this point, and they don't have a good relationship with my sister, and they've asked me not to tell her that she's not getting anything, but she... anyway, but I really want to tell her so that there's not going to be any drama when they're gone, because of course when they're gone it's going to all fall to me. I just don't know what to do.
Zach, I could see why this puts her in an awkward situation. I don't know. What's your side?
Well, I just think she should be quiet about it, because if you think there's going to be causing drama now, like later, causing drama now while her parents are still around, I mean, it's going to, potentially, I don't mean to sound selfish or anything, but it could jeopardize what they're going to leave her. And, we have kids, so we're trying to, prepare for the future. Her parents are kind of right for cutting her sister off. I mean, she's not the nicest person. She hasn't been very good to Naomi. I just think we should just respect her parents' wishes and do as they say.
Choices like this of the family are always difficult. But you know something? You can wait forever for people to change. And if they don't make you feel good, or if they're just going to show up at the last minute when somebody's in failing health or whatever, difficult choices like this, they have to be made at some point. You're doing it when they're in the right frame of mind. What can you say about that?
I can say that it's not fair that your parents put you in this situation, Naomi, because I do feel that put you in a really tough spot, because you know that eventually there's going to be drama, and it would be nice for them to speak their mind now and to settle anything. But I could also understand that they just don't want to deal with it either.
Right.
Let's see what our audience has to say. They may agree with you, Naomi. You can go against your parents' wishes and go have the conversation with your sister so she's aware that this is a situation for when they ultimately do pass. But they may see Zach's side, too. Your parents said not to tell her, and they're your parents, and this is their wishes, and you should really respect that. It's tough.
1-800-330-9999. Whose side are you on? It's the Couples Court with Anna and Raven.
Naomi's parents are leaving everything to her in their will, and they have asked her not to tell her sister because they don't want to cause any drama until after they're gone. Naomi says she feels like she has to tell her sister, even though her sister isn't really all that nice, to be honest.
Zach says, you know what? You just got to stay out of it. This is what your parents asked you to do. We've got kids. We've got a future ourselves, too. Not for nothing. I don't want to sound shallow, but we've got to look out for ourselves here in this. If your sister was a better person, if they had a better relationship, it would be different.
Whose side are you on? 1-800-330-9999. Hi, it's Couples Court, Anna and Raven.
Good morning, Anna and Raven. I'm on the husband's side. Respect your parents. Respect their decision. Keep the secret to yourself. Enjoy the last few years or time you have with them, and everything will work out just fine. If the sister had been a better person, this would have been a different conversation.
Really well put. Thank you for the call.
Thank you for the call. Have a great morning.
Whose side are you on? 1-800-330-9999. It's a Couples Court. Naomi's parents have told her that they're leaving basically everything to her in the will. They have asked her not to say anything about this, though, to her sister because they don't want to cause any drama. Naomi believes that she can't do that. She's got to tell her sister.
Well, Zach points out the fact that her parents don't actually have a relationship with her sister right now at this point, and they've made this decision of conscious and sound mind. They did it on purpose for a reason. You have to honor your parents' wishes, right?
Or do you? Whose side are you on? 1-800-330-9999. Hi, Couples Court, Anna and Raven.
I'm on the side of the husband. They should have the lawyer just reveal it after the passing, and then nobody has to have the big drama.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you've ever been part of one of those things, there's always drama. It doesn't matter who delivers the news. Somebody's always upset. Somebody always feels like they were wronged. If they don't say it right at that moment, then they resent it and they hold on to it and they say it later down the road. But I've never been in a situation where one party gets it all and the other party gets nothing, and everybody's cool if they're hearing it from somebody in a law office. They don't care.
Hey,
They
but
still don't care.
You have to think that the sister at some point knows, like, hey, there's major conflict. There's no way I'm getting a house.
It doesn't matter. People are greedy, and they only see what they see when the time comes.
Hi, it's Anna and Raven. Whose side are you on?
Hi, I am on the side of that lady. Don't tell your sister anything. I'm in the same situation. And my parents had gone ahead, and my sisters, when they died, they stole the will. Up to now, I haven't gotten what I'm supposed to get, because they stole the will, and up to now, nobody can get nothing.
Yeah, that happens a lot,
I'll
too.
take
You're
it
right.
quiet.
That's crazy.
Thank you for the call.
How
Right.
terrible.
It does happen all the time. People steal the will.
Wow. Anna and Raven, whose side are you on?
Good morning. I am on the husband's side. I think that, the parents want it this way for a reason, and she should just respect her parents' wishes. And who knows, maybe if her sister changes, her parents might change their mind. So it's kind of making drama a little prematurely.
The verdict is in. Jury foreman, what are the results?
Zach, our audience agreed with you. If it's your parents' wishes, Naomi, not to have this be brought up while they're still here, then you need to respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like to get my nose in other people's business, but, her parents have been very good to us, and I just think the smartest thing for us to do is show them the respect that they've given us and just, do as they request.
Naomi, I think the important thing is that once your parents are gone, these decisions, the property, these sorts of things, they have been left to you to deal with. You can do what you believe is fair and right at that time. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's 50-50 or one way this way or that way. Like, I think that with time and wisdom and your relationship with your parents, you can do what's right. So be assured that when you decide what is right, that will ultimately be the right decision.
Yeah, you're so right. I didn't even think of it that way. Hopefully my parents are around for a good little bit longer, but that puts my mind at ease. Thanks so much, you guys.
Yeah, it's not what she believes is fair. It's what you believe is right and just at the end. Taking all that information. They've entrusted you with that decision.
Yeah, and that's actually, that means a lot to me. Thank you. It's given me a lot of perspective shift. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
If you have a problem, too, send an email, couplescourt@AnnaandRaven.com.
Can't beat Raven.
Hey, Trish.
Hi.
You're up. Can you please ask Raven to leave the room?
Raven, would you please leave the room?
Sure. Good luck, Trish.
All right, Trish.
Thank you.
We've got $1,300 on the line. I'm going to ask you 5 pop culture questions. You have 3 seconds to answer each one. I'll bring Raven back in and ask him the same 5 questions. Whoever gets the most right wins. It's a tie. It goes to Raven. You ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, Princess Beatrice is expecting her first child with her husband. She is the daughter of what royal divorce couple?
Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson.
Number 2, what Fast and Furious actor that plays Dominic Toretto reportedly wants $50 million to return to the franchise?
Vin Diesel.
Number 3, people with allergies spend on average $16,000 in a lifetime dealing with them. What allergy medicine has the slogan, works fast, stays strong, day after day?
Claritin.
Number 4, CBS is bringing Survivor back. Who hosts Survivor?
Oh, I know this one.
Time's up, Trish. Number 5, Frito-Lay's is disputing a claim from a former janitor who says he invented the popular Flaming Hot Cheetos. What's the name of the Cheetos mascot?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right, Trish. I'm going to bring Raven back. Okay.
Chester Cheetah. Chester Cheetah. Am I too late?
Shh. Okay, Trish got 2 out of 5.
Not too good. Let's see how I do.
Not too good.
$1,300 there, Trish.
Number 1,
I know.
Princess Beatrice is expecting her first child with her husband. She is the daughter of what royal divorce couple?
Isn't it Fergie? Yeah, I don't know the guy's name.
Prince Andrew.
I should have guessed that. I mean, it's Andrew George or whatever. It's one of those names,
Number 2, what Fast and Furious actor that plays Dominic Toretto reportedly wants $50 million to return to the franchise?
Did you say 50?
Yes.
Wow. Vin Diesel. Little crazy, little full of yourself.
Number 3, people with allergies spend on average $16,000 in a lifetime dealing with them.
Okay.
What allergy medicine has the slogan, works fast, stays strong day after day?
I'll guess Claritin. That's what I take.
Nope, it's Zyrtec. That's what I take, Zyrtec. I feel like you either got to go Allegra, Zyrtec, or Claritin. It was
one of those,
one of the
right?
3. Yep. Number 4, CBS is bringing back Survivor. Who hosts Survivor?
Jeff Probst.
Yes.
You know what I mean.
Yes. You guys are tied at 2. Number 5, Frito-Lay's is disputing a claim from a former janitor who says he invented the popular Flaming Hot Cheetos.
Okay.
What's the name of the Cheetos mascot?
Chester.
Chester Cheetah is right. I'm sorry, Trish. He beat you 3-2 this morning. That does get you an Anna and Raven t-shirt.
I can't beat Raven.
Better luck next time. Enjoy that shirt, girl.
At FedEx, we're making lower emission vehicles our priority because Earth is our priority. Our goal is to be carbon neutral by 2040. We call it Priority Earth. FedEx, where now meets next.